Hello everyone, welcome back in another video. Today date is 9th of November 2022 and in today's video we are going to see the difference in between functional programming and object oriented programming. So in all of this video we are deeply discuss about the object oriented programming language, and we can also call it as a OOPS. But there is a one more aspects of a language at the time of coding. We can also use a functional programming language. So in our object-oriented programming language, there was a depends on an object. That means that the whole coding or whole our logic are built on a object, because object oops or our Java is a purely object-oriented programming language, because it's completely depends on an object. That means it's not actually 100% object oriented there, because there was we are using data types like int, float, double, and all those data types which are primitive data types. Because of those data types, we are not called as 100% object oriented, but by using the data types and the wrapper classes and the all their object classes there, including that object class, we can call as a completely object oriented as Java. But there was a one more programming aspect is present, that is our functional programming. So functional programming is derived for some particular work or particular uses, because suppose if we are creating one program, suppose I am creating a program for a bank statement for a bank. So there was the complete code is ready. Suppose there is a code of line having the 3000. That code is completely ready. But after that, I am remind one thing. I have to add some additional information within that page or on that UI page. So that time I am not going to directly change within that code, because that code is depends on all those elements or all those parameters which are including in their classes and packages. So if we are going to change in any class or any package, it's directly impact on another class and packages. So that time we can use a directly functional programming. So functional programming is based on functions. That time they are not there is no need to create any objects. We are directly use a function. Functions means suppose if we are have to calculate if we are going to check the functions like suppose there is addition function. So that time we simply pass the value like that. Suppose a plus b, so it gives us output in terms of in a specific manner. That means suppose there is a value is 10 and b value is 20, so that time it specifically gives output as a 30. So that is the function matter, and functional programming is immutable. That means we are not able to any change after the creation of that functional programming. And Java is also immutable. Okay. Whenever we imports are not given to data but to the import in our functional programming, there was not any importance regards the data, but they important or focusing on a functions. That means there is not any kind of matter ki what data we are passing for that particular function. There was a only focusing we are only focusing on the functions. But in our object oriented, we are focusing on a data, and that time there is not any matter to use a particular method. We can use multiple methods for a multiple things, because there we are having some additional features in OOPS concepts like polymorphism. That means we can do multiple tasks by using a different way, one task by using a different way. So that's why we are not focusing on a method or a function. In our OOPS, we are only focusing on our data, but in our functional programming, we are directly focusing on our data. We are only focusing on our function, not we are directly focusing on our data. After that, if you see in our functional programming, it use a recursion for a iteration. That time, suppose we are using some group of data or set of data. That time we have to iterate that complete data. In our functional programming, we are implementing a loops. We are implementing a recursion method for retrieving the data or traveling throughout that set or traveling throughout the complete data. And in our object oriented, we are using a loops like do while loop, for loop, each for each loop. That kind of loop we are using in our object oriented programming. Okay, so in our recursive method, there was we creating a method, and that method can again repeatedly call the particular method till that our condition should be false. Okay. So that means we are directly recalling the method until our condition is unsatisfied. That means it works on a recursive data. And in a functional programming, we are writing a simple for loop or each loop or for each loop or while loop. So this is the major difference in between our functional programming and our object-oriented programming. So our object-oriented programming is based on the main four pillars. So that four pillars are our abstraction, inheritance, then polymorphism and encapsulation. So we have discussed about that our four pillars in our previous video. If you want to, you can check on our playlist. So this is overall about functional programming and object-oriented programming. Thank you.